Welcome back to Toastmaster Time, the show that has everybody talking. Well, you've heard some wonderful speeches, but now I'd like to talk a little bit more about what is the Youth Leadership Program. And for that, I have a special guest. We have Jean Luong. And welcome to the show, Jean.
Thank you for inviting us.
5, 3, 2, 1.
And what club are you with?
Union City Toastmasters Club.
How many of these youth leadership programs have you coordinated so far?
I co-coordinate 5 programs.
Wow, oh my gosh, such dedication. Excellent, awesome. Could you explain to our audience what is a youth leadership program?
Youth Leadership Program is a 8-week sessions, workshop style that help kids with public speaking as well as leadership skills. And it's sponsored by individual Toastmaster Club and run by Toastmaster members. And each session is run almost similar to a Toastmaster meeting that have time for prepared speech, table topics, as well as student evaluations.
So it would be a Toastmasters Club who would need to choose to put on one of these programs?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I understand this is a program from Toastmasters, and you order materials from Toastmasters International. What are some of the materials that you receive from Toastmasters?
You can order from International Toastmaster handbook that provides step-by-step for the coordinators as well as for the students to follow.
So students do receive a workbook that
yes.
they can work from?
Step by step.
Step by step, okay, yes. Well that's
so
good.
No worry.
No worries. All right, and what are some of the, now you said it's sort of run like a Toastmasters meeting, so what
yes.
would be some of the sections of the meeting that the students would go through?
So usually we introduce with basics public speaking skills, and then we talk into organizations, body gestures, vocal varieties and vocabulary, listening skills, impromptu speech.
Okay, so you're actually teaching them how to organize a speech and how to, word choices. Okay, and now you talked about impromptu speaking. So what is that? How do they learn to speak impromptu?
Just like us, each student will have 1 to 2 minutes to answer an impromptu questions, and they love it, especially when you have fun topics and you add body gesture to it. They just have lots of fun.
Okay. Now, where do you find students who participate in the program?
From past graduate students as well as parents, PTA website, Toastmaster Club website, community newsletter, and just words by mouth.
Okay. Now, what is the age range of students in the program?
From elementary to high school students, and it depends on specifications of certain Toastmaster Club or the coordinator, what age they're more comfortable with.
Okay, so you've had kids as young as like what, 11, 12? Well, we saw Judy, she was 11 years old.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
Okay.
I coordinate a program that 4th grade. And
4th
then,
grade.
yes, and I have students as well as
and
senior.
do you see that same sort of progress that we see with the older students?
It's a different kind of thinking, but it's very refreshing regardless.
Oh.
Yes.
Now, if you're a Toastmasters Club interested in putting on one of these programs, what things did you think about? What you need to do to put on one of these programs?
If in your club there is anyone who's interested or willing to start a club, please support it and go for it. Make it happen. The need for the YLP in the community is so tremendous. We have inquisition from the parents and students all the time. There are parents and students willing to commute either by driving or by BART an hour each way just to attend the YLP.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
Okay. And so okay, we talked about the educational topics that are in the program. Now, do you teach all of those yourself?
Oh no, we try to invite different educational speakers within and outside of your club, within the district. And I try to be very selective in trying to find only the best. Find a speaker anywhere that best illustrate as well as educate our students on that specific topics or skills for the students.
Oh, great. Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. And you know, like any program, sometimes you learn from experience. All of these 5 programs that you've put on. What are some pitfalls that a club who's choosing to put on one of these programs might want to avoid?
You want to try to limit the class size to 10 to 14 max so that you have time for the student to finish at least 3 prepared speech, and for the coordinator to have time to follow as well as to give the effective feedback for the student to grow.
Now, do you handle all 10 students by yourself?
I have a partner in crime in each of the programs, so we share.
All right.
Yes.
So you'd recommend doing this with someone to
Yes.
help kind of carry the load a little bit?
Yes, and definitely.
Okay. And what are some of the best practices that you've learned over these 5 youth leadership programs that you've put on?
Definitely make time for the table topics. Kids love them and they're really good at them. Also, try to involve and encourage the parent participation as much as possible. As like have them sign up for contribution to snacks for break time. Kids love them and they get more energy from it. Also, invite them to stay back for the whole session. If they see the growth of the children, they will support even more and spread the word too.
Now, we've obviously heard some of the students talking about the benefits. Have you gotten any feedback from parents about what they like about the program? What kind of feedback are you getting from the parents?
You can see that sometimes like they have overnight transformations. Some of our youth come in, they are tongue-tied and cannot even say the first word of their speech. But by the end of just 8 sessions, they can give a competent speech, illustrate all the skills that they just learned. And outside of Toastmaster, youth Toastmaster, they are more confident to present their class projects, participate in different speech contests, as well as to step into different leadership roles in school as well in the community.
Great. Now, I guess I'm just sort of thinking about, you know, I would really like to see more clubs put on these youth leadership programs.
Definitely.
It sounds like the demand is there. What we're not getting enough of is the Toastmasters Club. So if you could just really think of, you know, maybe one thing that's just going to grab a Toastmasters Club's attention, that's going to convince them to do it, what would you say?
This may be the best investment you make for the youth in your community.
So what benefits have you gotten out of being a coordinator in the program?
I just feel such rewarding to see the kids grow and transform and to become a better speakers.
So you feel that you've actually received some benefits out of being the program. Do you feel that you've become a stronger leader from doing this?
I feel a stronger leader, but more importantly, to see the kids, not just one, but each batch, like 10 to 14 kids, grow as speakers as well as leaders. It's a wonderful feeling.
Great. Well, it looks like that's our show for this episode. I'd like to thank you for being on our show and giving more information about the Youth Leadership Program. But for now, what I'd like to do is let our audience know that we do tape our show in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you would like more information about Toastmaster Time, you can go to our website. That's toastmastertime.com. You can also watch some of our previous episodes there. We are a part of District 57. They sponsor us, so we really appreciate that. You can find out about local events in the East Bay portion of the San Francisco area. Their website is d57tm.org. Or you can find out more about Toastmasters International or the Youth Leadership Program, or where to find a club near you by going to the Toastmasters International website, and that's toastmasters.org. We'd like to thank all of our volunteers here at the Mid-Peninsula Media Center in Palo Alto, because without them, we don't have a show. So we really appreciate their help. I'd also like to thank our guest speakers for today. We had Apurva Handagal, we had Bhavya Maladi, we had Juhi Desai, and my special guest as a coordinator, Jean Luong, one of our partners in crime in the Youth Leadership Program. I've been your host. My name is Trish Gray, and this is Toastmasters Time. So join Toastmasters and keep talking, everybody, no matter how old you are. Become comfortable speaking. Thank you.